It's okay to not know what your next decision is. It's okay to be in the gray of not knowing what you want. Because our emotions pull us one way, but then our mind pulls us another, but our experiences tell us something else. Being pulled in multiple ways is so hard to tie yourself around, and it causes you so much internal confliction. And at the end of the day, hindsight is always 20/20. But you never know what you should do. You never know what the right answer is that will best suit you the most. Because I think when it comes to the future, you always look back and you're like, man, I wish I would have picked this choice. And then you're like, but I wouldn't have experienced X, Y, and Z. But then if you all of a sudden pick and continue with the same choice that you had, your life would be a different way as well. And I think when we kind of keep going back and forth about what we should do, what should we not do, how will this affect us, how will this affect others, you just have to let it be. And if you need, and if it involves another person, talk to them. Talk to the group of people. Talk to the person. Because I think when it comes into two people, you need to get also their other side. You need to also understand that it's not black and white, but there's a middle. And that when you are trying to sway from one side to the other to living in the middle, you don't know which one to choose because you've had such a different experience. You've had such a new outlook on life. And that's okay. Just because the past you might have made a different decision than the current you doesn't mean that the current decision that you make is wrong. Because there are parts of you that know the answer, but then there's a part of you that looks at that uncertainty and is like, man, what if I did that uncertainty part? What if I explored that area rather than going to that certainty? But you know deep down that that certainty, it's like home. It's like you know. And it's that you don't even have to think about it. But you don't know. You don't know what life's gonna bring you. And I think one of the biggest things in life is, are you self-sabotaging? Are you self-sabotaging if you take one choice over the other, or the another, or whichever way? Are you self-sabotaging? Because I think it's so easy to look at a situation and think, I don't like this, what is going on? Like, let me rephrase that. We can sometimes self-sabotage by creating things that we do not need in our life, and conflict, and unnecessary drama, trauma, hurt feelings, you name it. Just because that's what we're used to, just because that's the environment that we are raised up in, and that becomes our day-to-day. Having that drama, having that high level of cortisol, having that nagging voice in your head saying, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Anxiety. Because that's what the normal thing is for you. Having those sirens and those alarms going off and off and off. And when you don't have that, you self-sabotage. And I'm not saying everybody does that, and I'm not saying that you're going to do that. But what I am saying is, are you aware of your self-sabotaging behaviors? And I think when you can decipher feeling safe, feeling scared, feeling anxious, and knowing exactly what you want because that is what you want, then that's when you can make a decision. That is when you can hopefully make the best thing for you. Long-term you, current you. Because at the end of the day, every single thing that we experience, every single thing that life throws at us is for us, not at us. Life is not doing you. You are doing life. And I think when we can change that perspective, when we can change our approach of being able to accept that and understand that sometimes we don't have control in our life, but then sometimes we do. And fully taking control of the things that we can control and being responsible and saying, I really messed up. That is my bad. Or, yeah, I did that. And I'm so proud that I was able to accomplish that. You never know who you're gonna meet, what you're gonna learn, and the new experiences that you're gonna make once you take that leap of faith for yourself. Once you take that leap of faith for your future self. Making sure that you are always putting your best foot forward and trying to mitigate or avoid the unnecessary drama. Because I do think sometimes when we have conflicts of interest of having so many overlapping things in your life, that you are just in the midst of everything. That you don't know what to do because you don't want to screw up, that you don't want to mess up a friendship or another one, or a friendship that's related to another one. Through that common connection that you're thinking about, or the decision that you're going to make could affect a connection with another person. And this is kind of on a side tangent of relationships, that I saw this Instagram post, and it was this woman talking about leaving her relationship. And it was like she left a perfectly fine relationship. It was absolutely perfect. She had everything that she could ask for from that person. And the reason why she left was because it wasn't that she wasn't enough, and it wasn't because they weren't enough, that she wanted more. And I was just like, man, that's deep. That is deep. And the courage she had to leave a perfectly normal relationship, to find something else in life, to find something more and deeper and greater, was honestly eye-opening. Because I think it's so easy to think and try to understand that a perfectly fine relationship, there's nothing wrong with it. There's two people who are putting in effort, when there's two people putting in the required work, when there's two people. And you realize that they are both enough. It's a yes and yes. It's an and situation. Yes, she was given enough, and yes, they were giving enough. And yes, she still needed more. And it was like, whoa. And I'm not saying that she wasn't in pain, and I'm not saying that she didn't hurt because she was losing her best friend. But there was something more. And it kind of goes back to being able to explain that when you lose something, you gain different things in your life. Yes, you lose something, someone, somehow, but then your life becomes different. Fuller in a different way. And I think when you can take that risk, not only in relationships, like that's not, I'm kind of weaving back into the center now, but when you can understand that your life is going to be so much fuller with whichever decision that you make, you're no longer scared. You're no longer worried, what if I do this wrong? You no longer worry about doing the right decision because the right people are going to find you. Timing is always right. Timing is always proper. Timing is always perfect. And we might not understand it. We might not think that we needed that time, but when we look back 5 years from now, we're like, oh, I'm so glad that happened. Oh, that was really hard and I needed that. And it is hard. And it's scary. But you don't know safe without feeling scared. And sometimes we need to take that leap of faith. Sometimes we have to say yes to something else and say, yes, I need space. Or yes, I need to change. Or yes, I have changed and I'm making a different decision. And there's no right or wrong answer. And there's nothing that you can do to avoid hurt or pain or confusion or distress or anxiety, because that's just life. Every decision that we make has repercussions. Every decision that we contemplate has an outcome. And whether it was a learning, or I should say, everything's learning, but if it was something that we might not have understood in the time being why we chose that, maybe in the future we will. Maybe in the future we will see how everything actually connected. And that we see that in the moment it is perfect. And in the next, it still isn't just a way that we didn't understand, that we don't understand. And then I think that you should listen to both sides of yourself. The one that's saying yes, and the one that's saying no. Because there's still a part of you. There's still a piece of you within each choice that you make. And I think at the end of the day, you have to do what's best for you. Whether it's saying yes to that job opportunity, saying no to that job opportunity, and you never know. Because what is meant to be yours is always meant to be yours. Even if it's not now, it'll eventually be yours. And sometimes you just need time. Sometimes you just need space. And sometimes you just need that different type of scenery. Because you never know what you could experience, what you could see, what you could enjoy, what you could live, what your life could be, how you could change. Because I think so often we think about all the things that we could lose, that we could lose this opportunity, that we could lose this friendship, this relationship, this next chapter, this grade, this part of peace, this part of you, the past you, the present you could lose all of it. But you also have to think what you could gain. New friends, new memories, new favorite places, new hobbies, new relationships, friendships, job opportunities, learn new things about yourself. And I think it's hard because feelings definitely overpower your logical thinking at times. I know mine does. I know mine do. And I have to remind myself that it's okay. And that both opinions, thoughts, choices, decisions have a time and a place. And they do have all validity. And that you don't, hopefully not under a deadline, but give yourself time. Give yourself the space to think about the choice and the choices that you make. Because you don't know all the time. You don't need to know all the time. And it's scary and it's frightening and it's worrisome and it's exciting. And it's a new leap of faith. Which is scary. But you have to be willing to make new choices to make a new life for yourself. Your new life is going to cost your current life and your past life. Because you always have to advocate for yourself. with whichever decision you make, you have to take care of yourself. So choose you first and figure out what's the best thing for you to do. Food for thought.